Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show live. This week, I want to talk about some tips for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Now, first of all, if you are flying into Florida super early in the morning on the day of your Halloween party, and that you have your hotel room already, and that's a big if, make sure you get in a good nap, because I'm speaking from experience. You will get wiped out. Although I did get a good nap last time. Who knows, maybe I will next time, providing Pop Century is ready. Now, if you have allergies to some of the candy at the party, there is an area in Liberty Square where you can get alternate treats. Also, when you get into the park, it's a good idea to get in some of the rides before the party starts, so that you're not missing out on any of the great party offerings. Although Space Mountain and the Teacups have overlays that only go on during the party. Like, the Mad Tea Party has Halloween music, and Space Mountain gets completely pitch black. That way you're not going between rides and offerings without stopping for a break. And of course, during the party, it's a good idea to sit down in between stuff. Like, if you're rushing through the trick-or-treat areas, you may need to sit down for a break and probably catch some energy. And so if you are going to Not So Scary this year, like I am, I guarantee you will have a spooktacular time. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later. And I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. Hang on, need a drink. Anyway. So, keeping with the Halloween theme, but on the other coast, just yesterday, Disneyland has officially started their Halloween festivities. And just like Florida, they go all out. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 Halloween offerings at Disneyland. Number 5, the villainous treat trails as part of Oogie Boogie Bash. So just like at Mickey's Not So Scary, Oogie Boogie Bash has great treat trails, but at Oogie Boogie Bash, they are more focused on the characters. Like, there are some that are completely rare, villain-wise, like Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. And there's Syndrome, who was added this year. Hi, Nikita Santiago. Make sure you subscribe. As I was saying, like Oogie Boogie, because it's his party. and it's a lot of fun. I've seen the videos. I think Oogie Boogie Bash's tree trails are definitely better than the tree trails at Mickey's Not So Scary. Anyway, number 4, the Cars Land Halloween overlay. So in Radiator Springs, they don't celebrate Halloween. They celebrate Halloween. HALU, which is kind of fun. It's pretty good. Like when Luigi's Rollickin' Roasters becomes Luigi's Honkin' Halloween, and Mater's Junkyard Jamboree turns into Mater's Graveyard Jamboree. You gotta hand it to the Imagineers, I'm telling you. Plus, there's a spider car in front of Flo's, which is actually an old ride vehicle for Mr. Toad's. Hi, Flavio. And there are some Halloween movie posters like Hocus Spocus or Escape from Hitch Mountain. That's to name a few. Hey, what? If you're just tuning in, I'm covering my top 5 Halloween experiences at Disneyland, and you should subscribe right here and right now. Anyway, number 3, the Frightfully Fun Parade. Thank you, Football Fan 314, and what, my day's going great. Nothing like starting my Saturday by doing this show for all of you. Anyway, number 3 is the Frightfully Fun Parade. So, this is a great parade. Not as great as Boo to You, but I definitely like the song. It's Halloween, oh, win, everybody. And I know what you're thinking. It's only mid-August, but you know, Disney had to start their Halloween festivities early. You know how it is. But yeah, it's a great parade. A lot of similarities to Boo to You, especially in the Haunted Mansion unit. And it's a lot of fun. It really is. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark. Now, you can do this one even if you're not at Oogie Boogie Bash. But so Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark is only available during the evenings at Halloween time. And it's what happens after the story of Mission Breakout. So after the Guardians escape the Collector's Fortress, all the creatures are loose. But, you know, Baby Groot gets left behind, so Rocket needs to find him. So, it's a lot of fun, like, Monsters After Dark! And it's just crazy. And I think it's even more intense than the regular version. I really do. And my number 1 Halloween offering at Disneyland, Haunted Mansion Holiday. Now, this one is on my bucket list. So, during the Halloween and Christmas seasons, the Haunted Mansion gets a Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, where Jack Skellington tries to bring some Christmas cheer to the Haunted Mansion. And it's great. One of the best parts of the overlay is the gingerbread house in the Grand Hall. Every year it's different. I have not seen the videos yet, but I hope this year's gingerbread house looks great. Every year, the gingerbread house has taken on different forms. Like one year was Oogie, another year was Jack. So I hope this year's gingerbread house is awesome. And like I said, it's on my bucket list. One day, I'm going to Disneyland for either Halloween or Christmas, and I will experience Haunted Mansion Holiday. But I digress. So let me know in the chat or in the comments if you have ever been to Disneyland at Halloween time. And if so, what is your favorite offering there? And now it is time for Diz or Dat. So on both coasts, they have a crazy river rapids ride. At Disney's California Adventure, it's Grizzly River Run, where you ride around Grizzly Peak, and they actually adjust the rapids for the seasons. And at Animal Kingdom, it's Kali River Rapids, which holds the record for the wettest ride at Walt Disney World. If you know, you know. So let me know in the chat or in the comments which rapid ride you prefer, Diz, Grizzly River Run, or Dat, Kali River Rapids. And now it's trivia time. So last week, we asked what animals raised Mowgli in the Jungle Book. The correct answer was wolves. Congratulations if you knew the answer. And now here is this week's trivia time question. Who was the first cartoon character to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, the other day, Disney has made a slew of announcements. First off, so Cool Kids Summer at Walt Disney World was so popular, Disney decided to bring it back for next year, which I think is great. So, and because I think it's bringing back to its old roots in entertainment. The more entertainment in the parks, the better. That's what I say. And that's what they say too. My citizens of Hollywood, I miss them so. Also, they announced that Zootopia, Zoogether, Better Zoogether, or whatever the heck it's called, it's going to be debuting on November 5th. I hope this is good. This is replacing the one 3D show I loathed the most. It's tough to be a bug. So I hope this new show is better than its predecessor. Fingers crossed. Also, other announcements include next year when Big Thunder finally reopens from its refurbishment, it's going to have a new opening sequence where when you go up the first track, the colors will change. And I hope that we get the same dynamite sequence on the third track up like they do at Disneyland, which I think is the reason why Disneyland's Big Thunder is pretty much better than the one in Florida, scene-wise. Let's see, what else did they announce the other day? Also, oh yeah, So they showed some stuff for the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. The penguins from Muppet Vision will be safe. Yes. So it's pretty much going to be the same old Rock and Roller Coaster, only Muppetified. I still won't ride it, but I think it's good because I have a thing about loops. And I think this is great. I think all these announcements are great because as you know, Destination D will not have a parks panel. I ranted about that last week, if you recall. Hi, cool kid. And hello, co-mister. But yeah, I am glad that Disney has still decided to give us some details on stuff. And still, I'm sure they'll make some sort of announcements at Destination D. Who knows? So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later. And I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. For this week's shoutouts, hang on. For this week's shoutouts, make sure you guys check out my buddy Beth over at Beth's Disney Adventures. She did a live stream yesterday doing rides at Magic Kingdom. Of course, it was very rainy. Definitely check her out. Also, for the latest of all things Disneyland, make sure you guys check out Fresh Baked. Also, make sure you guys check out my pals Jessica and Lewis over at One Little Spark JL. They do great vlogs once in a while. Definitely check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out my buddy Mike over at The Park Night. He promises this will be his last identity change. I don't know. He's gone through more identity changes than P. Diddy. But still, definitely check him out at The Park Night. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, may the mouse be with you.